So the last step I'll kind of show is to add a foot for this video. Obviously, your project is to not just create a nice cup. That's part of the project. Then you have to do the final steps of having one or both of them have that texture on it. So you'll either be adding or subtracting or whatnot. But if you look at most cups and bowls, whether they're manufactured or handmade, they often have some sort of foot. Now your cup doesn't have to have a foot, or your bowl doesn't have to have a foot. I'm gonna kind of try, and I kind of have a flat bottom, and I don't know how much I like that. Although when I go to push it out, it's creating that stretching right there, and I have that, oops, sorry. I have that kind of cracked on the center. Hopefully I can fix that. But I want to get a foot on here. That gives it that lift. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of clay. I got a little bit of clay here. I always start my coil out in my hand first and get it as even and ready to go as possible. I'm going to move some of this out of the way because I'm going to show rolling on a coil, which I like to do on the table. Now that means that you'll have to sponge down your table after the fact, but it doesn't work nearly as well on, I also like to get all the crumbs and things out of the way also so it doesn't pick up on my coil. It doesn't work quite well rolling your coil out on your canvas mat. So I'm just gonna roll it out starting in the center and working my way outward with it. Keeping it as even as possible. Rolling in the center and moving my way out. Center, outward, center, outward. I like this is probably maybe a 1/2 inch thickness. I want it to replicate what's going on with the rim. So this will thin out a little bit once and you can kind of see it there, it's pretty decent, but it will thin out a little bit once I clean it up. So maybe this is pretty good. Again, I'm using my makeshift banding wheel, and I'm gonna add it to the bottom here. I'm just gonna kind of space out where I want it, and then actually cut off the excess here. So I don't need this little bit of clay there. Maybe I want to take a look at it from the side, make sure I like that placement. And really my form to me doesn't make sense, and that's probably why I don't like this cup as much. It's okay. Maybe it will help if I have a smaller foot. So maybe I'll take a look at it from this angle. And I do kind of like that better. Again, I'm seeing some cracking happen here. I'm not going to panic about that. I'm going to kind of adjust. So the smaller foot looks a little better for mine. So I'm going to kind of cut this again. And I can kind of push that clay into the area. Always making sure I'm in the field of view of the camera. So it's not ready yet, or it is ready to attach, but I need to slip and score. So I'm just going to set this aside right here. I'm going to get my scoring tool. It's nice too, actually, if I place it on here and then I can see where I have to score so I don't overscore the area. I'm just going to kind of trace this out. And now I can see where my foot is lying. It'll be on the outside of that line. And I always like to go one way all the way around using my makeshift banding wheel. And then go the opposite way. So I'm gonna go up and down now. So I make really good scoring marks. With my foot here too. I'm going to score the area as well. What this does is you're able to, when the slip goes in here, it suctions into these areas of the pot. Suctions into these areas, and then that creates that glue. So I got my little bitty slip. I'm gonna use my skewer tool. It keeps it cleaner at home rather than using your fingers. Of course, you're more than welcome to use your fingers. Then they just get real slippy. I always think a healthier amount of slip is better because you can always take it away. So I'm going to give it a nice healthy amount here. Students tend to not add enough. They kind of just like, and you don't have to add it to this also, they kind of just skate it on here. That's probably not enough. Looks quite a bit different than that. So I always add a healthy amount. Now I'm going to bring my foot over here, place it on. I'm going to kind of turn it a little bit so I know that there's that suction there. That's picked up that area. I'm also going to take a look at my pot from the side. Make sure that I didn't put it on lopsided. My camera's going to do that weird thing. It wants to. Now that I'm happy with it, I might move it over just a smidge, and there it goes, although maybe it's okay right now. I'm going to smush it in. I might stop the video here and start again. I hate how it does that, but I know that's hard to look at. So, smushing that clay into the pot, you'll start to see the slip all squish out the sides, and that's a great thing. I can easily clean that up. I'm just kind of pinching and squishing, and now I'll start to clean up this extra slip. So I'm going to take this tool, drag it along the edge, and just pick up that slip. Got it on my tool, and I can scrape it into my slip here. I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. Now you can stop here, but I think that the foot looks pretty rough right now. It looks uncared for. It doesn't look like I've given it the time and energy that it needs. I'm going to work at it some more. So again, I'm going to work out I'm going to take my finger first and kind of rake it along the inside. I'm going to try and clean up this mess in here, this little crack. There we go. That's gone. Yay. Again, rake my finger along the edge. I'm also going to rake my finger along the edge out here. Again, you can say maybe that's done, but I don't think so. So I'm going to keep going. Little changes will help. So I'm going to do the same, use this tool the same way I would on the side of my pot. And I'm going to clean up the side of my foot here. My clay is more plastic though, so it's working a little bit differently. Any sort of extra little bit of love and attention that you can give makes little changes on your pot. It's not a race. It's just paying attention. It's cleaning it up. It's giving it energy, and it's giving it love. So that looks a little bit better on the side. I think it's a little bit high, and it's also undulated because of the way the coil was and because of the way I pinched it up. So I am going to take a little bit off the top here. So same way, supporting the inside, moving slow. Now because my clay is more plastic, my tool wants to suction to the bottom there. You can see that little bit of clay. That's that plastic part. I'm going to try and even it out just a little bit. Now I could take my sponge again here, but my clay is very soft, much softer than the regular pot. I'm just going to use my finger, kind of create a little area for it to kind of sit. Now, I don't know how much I like this inward angle. I can kind of adjust that. It does kind of replicate what's going on over here. It's okay. You can also kind of pull the clay a little bit outward and it will change that inward angle. And it was just the way I was kind of cleaning it up. So I might do that a little bit. Don't be afraid to alter things like your rim, and I know I show you just kind of an average rim and average foot, but you can do cuts in it and things like that, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you don't, but those kind of extra little things are pushing your creativity a little bit further. Maybe it makes more sense for your sketch. Just doing some added cleanup. And I mean, that's probably pretty all right. I've smoothed out the inside edges where it connects to the pot. I've smoothed out the outside edges. There's still some work that can be done, but as usual, I can feel that about a lot of things. I'm going to leave that for now. And that was, again, how to clean up your pot, how to cut off the rim, and then how to add a foot. Hopefully this helps you through if you missed it yesterday or today, but hopefully that helps you through those things.